Well, I'm kind of being put in the hot seat for this story, actually. It might surprise some of you, but I was kind of a troubled child.
She was bad.
Yeah, I was pretty bad. Our first encounter with each other was a secret from my parents, and actually still is.
Yeah, they don't know.
Still don't know.
What's going on, his, hers, and theirs?
What's up, guys?
We are back again. If you are new here, my name is Anthony.
I'm Jamie. Here on our channel, we make family vlogs as well as talk about some controversial topics such as racial division, interracial dating and marriage, and the experiences of our interracial family.
The goal is to show people how we can all come together with a little help from God and some respect for our fellow human beings. Today's video, we are going to really dive in and talk about how we met.
If you have been watching our channel for a while, you know a little bit of this story. If you've seen our love story, which I'm sure you have if you're subscribed. And if you're new here, after you watch this video, you should go check out our love story to hear more in depth.
Yeah, there'll be a card for that right there.
Perhaps. Is that where it's going to be? You sure it's not going to be right there?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's going to be in one of these spots right there. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
So, where should we begin?
Well, I'm kind of being put in the hot seat for this story, actually. It might surprise some of you, but I was kind of a troubled child, the black sheep of the family, if you will. I was an only child, but as far as all of my cousins and everything were concerned,
she was bad.
Yeah, I was pretty bad. Our first encounter with each other was a secret from my parents, and actually still is.
Yeah, they don't know.
Still don't know. This is going to be a more lighthearted video. We don't really want to take the serious note of like we did in the love story. So let's just say that Anthony had gone through a very tragic event prior to
it was
our first meeting.
It was about 2.5 months, right? About 2.5 months?
About 2.5 months after a really bad car accident where someone lost their life. But we're not trying to make this video a sad one. So if you want to know more about that, you can go watch our love story, which again, it will be linked up there. Me and my best friend, we were kind of a little bad together, and I'm gonna be honest, it was mostly my influence in that. We had skipped school that day. The plan was for her to invite his brother over to my house. But unbeknownst to me, his brother first made a stop to his house and picked him up. He needed to get out of the house.
I did need to get out of the house, and my brother was aware that there would be another girl where he was going, and he knew that I needed to get out of the house, so he called me up. They skipped school. He didn't have to skip school. He was a senior at the time. He only had like 4 classes or maybe even 3 classes. So he was done before lunch. But he called me up and I'm just sitting at home watching TV, you know, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. He's like, okay. And he didn't even tell me he was coming. I'm pretty sure he was already on his way to the house, but he didn't tell me he was coming. So I just kept watching TV, and about 15 minutes after I hung up the phone with him, I hear the car horn and he's out in the driveway like, put some clothes on, come out. We going. I'm like, going? I don't wanna go. And he's like, no. Put some clothes on, we're going. So I put some clothes on and we went.
He had a double purpose. One, to get him out of the house. The other, so he could entertain me and him and my friend could spend time together without interruption. So they show up at the house. I was a little upset because neither I or my friend knew that
I was
had company, and again, watch our love story, but I had already had a crush on him for a year, and I had no idea he was coming. I didn't get myself together. I wasn't looking fly, you know. I was in a t-shirt and some gym shorts, no makeup on, hair a mess.
Yeah, well, she wasn't that far from me because I couldn't even tell you the last time I had shaved.
Yeah, but back then he had just little peach fuzz. It was cute.
I can't really remember what I was wearing. I wasn't fly either. I was definitely not fly.
But somehow we both found each other really cute.
We did.
And so
I think the conversation led to that though.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I know that the sun is slowly going down too. We have to schedule these things around the children and dinner and stuff.
Work.
Yeah. So they showed up. His brother and my friend went off to spend time together. And we sat down on my parents' couch.
She never let on that she knew who I was or that she had a crush on me already. But
I mean, you probably got the vibe that I thought you were cute.
Well, yeah. Like, I was aware that, like, okay, you know, she put out enough of the signals to let me know that any advances that I might want to make would have been welcome. So, but
eventually,
I'm saying, you know, she let me know that there was a romantic interest.
Yeah. With a look. I never said it.
You know exactly.
You can tell.
Y'all know what we're talking about. You know when a girl looks at you in that way that says, go for it, tiger. You know. At any rate, we start talking, you know, and we talked about school. We talked about faith. We talked about hopes, dreams, aspirations. There was a chemistry.
Immediately.
Definitely a chemistry immediately, where I realized real quick that this was a person that I wouldn't mind spending more time with.
Same here.
And so
we really hit it off. We had a lot of things in common as far as the surface stuff. We didn't really have that in common, but the deeper stuff we definitely had that.
That's where our connection was made, is on the deeper stuff.
Yeah, we were both very family oriented. We both definitely planned to have a family in the future, and we wanted big families.
The funny thing to me is that still holds true today. Our surface interests are not the same. You know, the stuff that I like is not necessarily stuff that she's interested in. The stuff that she likes is not necessarily stuff that I'm interested in. But the stuff that really matters, the place where our connection was made in the first place, you know, the stuff that really matters, we've seen eye to eye on pretty much all of our relationship.
Yeah, from the very first day. And it works. It works for us. I don't think you should have all the same interests. I think it's important that you have different interests and things that you like to do apart, outside of each other.
Anytime you're in a long-term relationship or marriage, there has to be outside interests. If you are in a situation where your entire world consists of your significant other, There are no other outside interests. There are, you know, your entire world revolves around who they are and what they're doing. That's not gonna work. I can tell you right now. The other person is not gonna be able to take it.
No.
You know?
You'll end up suffocating each other, or one person will end up suffocating the other person.
Yeah. Now, for us, there was enough common interest on the surface for us to go do stuff together. We both really like going to the movies. We both really like going to see live music. Even if we didn't necessarily agree on what type of music it would be. The surface stuff was amicable, you know? It wasn't none of it was ever like a deal breaker or anything like that.
We really got along beautifully from the very beginning, and in fact, later on in our relationship, people were really surprised at how early we started doing things like finishing each other's sentences. And you know, we just really connected. We had a chemistry that was very, very strong, and we really liked each other a lot. And we didn't fight for a really long time in our relationship, actually. For years and years. It was years before we had our first fight.
Yeah. And almost 2 years before we had our first fight.
I feel like it was longer than, well, yeah, no. There was that one.
Yeah.
So we talked on the couch. We actually ended up kissing. And we mentioned that in the How Well Do We Know Each Other? Where was our first kiss? Our first kiss was the first day we met. It wasn't a case of we just went around kissing everybody when we first met them. It was more, I think it was something we both needed and the moment was right.
That invisible pull, you know? And we were drawn to each other, you know?
And I think it had been a while since either one of us felt that for anybody, and so it just kind of happened.
So my brother and her friend show back up and they're like, hey, you guys want to run to the store, get something to eat? Now, my brother had the car, and my brother got a car. They brought him a car 2 years before he was even getting his driver's license. I didn't get one until I bought one myself, and the main reason for that is my own fault. I kept taking cars without permission.
We were both kind of bad.
I mean,
you wouldn't think it. We don't, look, please don't unsubscribe to our channel. We've changed. But we're honest with you guys. Y'all know, if you've been watching us, you know that we're honest with y'all. And we're not gonna stop doing that. So, you know, we're not gonna pull any punches. Like, we were kind of troubled teens for several reasons.
We were teenagers. I wouldn't even put the word troubled in front of it. We were regular, normal teenagers doing the stuff that regular, normal teenagers do.
If you asked my parents, I was a very troubled teen. His parents thought he was just a normal teenager.
You were just a normal teenager too.
I was, but let them tell it. I was, you know, I needed
hell on wheels. My brother, he did not take very good care of the car, and at the time, it didn't go into reverse. So we had to push the car out of her driveway. And we went to Kmart, which was right around the corner from our house at the time. And we had to make sure we parked somewhere that he didn't have to back out.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. When I say a month later, like I think about a month later, his engine blew up.
Yeah. So we went to the store, we shopped together, we talked some more, you know, and I mean, we ended up spending quite a few hours together that day, just hanging out, talking. Obviously, we did kiss.
You know, we hung out with my brother and her friend as well, and, you know, just talked about the stuff that high school aged people talk about.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what it was. That was a long time ago.
It wasn't until we were in the company of my brother and her friend that what I had been through even came up at all.
Yeah, my friend knew him before he came to my house. I had never sat down and had a conversation with him. I had seen him, I knew who he was, I knew his name and everything.
Christina knew me from choir, huh?
She knew you from choir, she knew you from Bridget.
Yeah, okay.
Which is another interesting story that we might tell you guys one day. My best friend had another best friend who he used to date. She wasn't happy when we got together.
That's another video.
Yes, it is.
But no, I'd say the biggest takeaway from the day we met was how instantaneous that bond was. You know, people talk about love at first sight, and I feel like for us, from the moment we were in the same room with each other, there was
I wouldn't even call it chemistry. It was like a pull. It was almost a knowing, like
a magnetism. You know,
yeah.
We were almost physically drawn to each other.
We laid eyes on each other, and there was a knowing there that we couldn't really explain, and still can't honestly explain.
I still feel it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you the one, girl.
It made absolutely no sense, though. Had never experienced that before, and have never experienced that again.
I think the weird part for me was the fact that she really already knew of me, I guess.
You didn't find that out that day, though.
I didn't find that out that day, but to find out that she already knew who I was and was already interested in dating me, it kind of was a little mind-blowing, you know, especially from a guy's perspective. As a guy, you don't expect there to be girls pining, so to speak, but to know that she had been noticing me, to realize that this woman that I would end up spending the rest of my life with wanted me before I even knew who she was. You know, there's an element of providence there, in my opinion.
Well, and that's also because of the type of person he is. He's the shy,
I am.
you know, not really the type to initiate at all. In fact, I think he told me recently that he doesn't think he ever, or there was only one time that he ever approached a girl. All the other women he dated approached him, every last one, because he just wasn't the type to approach.
It's true.
Yeah. So I don't think all men would feel that way, though, because some men are pompous jerks. And they're like, of course she liked me the whole time. I mean, who wouldn't? But no, that's not him.
No, I'm not that guy at all. At the end of the day, God had a plan. Just because we were unaware of it doesn't mean it didn't exist. Especially given where I was in my life at the time. I wasn't in a place of looking for someone at the time, you know? I wasn't interested in even trying to find someone. That's the part for me that makes it feel a little more like providence. It's like,
yeah, that's when it happens. And we've talked about this too.
yeah.
When you're looking for a relationship too hard, either you can't find one or you find the wrong one. It's when you're not looking that the one comes to you.
Yeah. Bop you right upside the head. I do remember when my brother and I finally left, that car ride home, the only thing I could think about was the next time I was going to see her. I'm serious, you know? I'm on my brother like, when are we going back over there? He's like, dude, she cut school. That was her parents' house. We can't just go over there anytime we want.
Come to find out, he really did go back to my parents' house. Like, it wasn't secretive in the fact that we had to keep our relationship a secret or anything, but he wasn't, I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to be there.
Nobody was supposed to be there.
What was it, 2 days later that we finally?
Yeah, I think so. I think her mom was gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And it was the weekend that time.
Yeah.
and we met up at her house, and
And
then we met up at his brother's house after that.
We spent that whole weekend together.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember like the first, second, and third encounters that we had together. The first one was at my house, the second one was at her house, and the third one was at his house.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Well, guys, that is the story.
It is the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't judge too hard. We were teenagers. I think most of us, I'm not gonna say all, because there are some goody teenagers.
Yeah.
We were not them.
I mean, we made typical teenager mistakes. If you guys have any questions about how we met, drop them down in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. You can do it. You can do it.
And hit that notification bell
so you guys can get all of our future videos. Follow us on Twitter, please.
and
Please.
Instagram
And Instagram.
and Facebook.
And Facebook. I need some followers. I have so much tweeting in me right now that I want to tweet, and I need some people to come see my tweets. So follow us on Twitter. There's a link for that in the description. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about how we met, leave those in the comments. We'll get back to you as fast as we can. And
As always,
praise Him in the morning.
praise Him in the evening.
Read your Bible often. And life is a very precious gift from God. So make sure you get out there and live it. Meet somebody. Take it easy, his, hers, and theirs.
See y'all later.